Speaking of border issues, now this is a story I know you're watching. We just learned that more than 200 arrests have been made in a bust of a big human trafficking operation in Scottsdale, Arizona. Can you tell us a little bit more about this, or maybe just about the overall problem that we have here?
Well, I'll tell you about both. There's a lot of details on this that are not released. One of the reasons is because human trafficking and Arizona now go somewhat hand in hand. We talk about the fentanyl problem, which is an easy problem because you hear about drug deaths. I know people whose families have been touched by fentanyl death. I think a lot of Americans now do. We're losing about 100,000 individuals per year this way, from fentanyl deaths. And the jails are filled, especially the jails in Arizona, are absolutely filled with young men and even young women who are busted either for having fentanyl or using fentanyl or committing some kind of a crime to pay for the fentanyl. So it's an epidemic. But what we don't hear about is the human trafficking. And what happened in this particular bust, kind of came around the same time as the annual golf tournament. The big deal in Arizona every year in January is the PGA Tour golf tournament that occurs in Scottsdale. So it's a perfect time of when you're going to find, especially prostitution, but all forms of human trafficking. And so kind of tying with the event, the police went out and did undercover raids. And most of this is underage women, underage girls, because they're underage, who are involved in prostitution. One of the things that happens is that, it's not just that smugglers, coyotes, charge lots of money for people to come over, but oftentimes what they do, especially if you don't have that kind of money, is you wind up subjugating yourself to years of slavery. That can be domestic slavery, that can be, sexual slavery, or it can be both. And so this is a bust of, a lot of people involved in the ring. They managed to get back a number of people, of course, but, you've got all walks of life. And that's one of the problems here. This isn't just some shady side of the street. This isn't some shady drug dealer. These are a lot of white collar, upper middle class, individuals living in, the expensive neighborhoods like Scottsdale, like some of the areas of Greater Phoenix and the mountains surrounding it, who go in and buy human beings, oftentimes, like I said, for domestic help, but also for sexual. And it's absolutely disgusting. The police have their hands full with this. What happened in Scottsdale is just a start. Hopefully under the Trump administration and under a new U.S. attorney in Arizona, who has not been named yet, a lot more of this will go on, and with a lot of help from the federal government.